they sent me a script called 100 yards or 200 yards over the rim. And it was a story of a family in the 40s, 49ers, who were in a wagon train headed for California and had all kinds of difficulties. And they got out in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and they were all deciding to turn back. And one of the reasons was that this young man's family, he had a young son, was becoming ill. And finally he says to everybody, just let me just walk a couple hundred yards over that sand dune, over that rim, and just see what's on the other side. And they were all saying, let's go back to Ohio, whatever. Now, like a good would-be actor studio actor, I had done my homework. And I knew that those poor, bedraggled families in those days, they were huddled west. All they had were the clothes on their back. And usually the clothes on their back were woolen because they're from the East Coast where it was black wool, heavy stuff. And can you imagine anything more discomforting or impossible than to be in the Mojave Desert with those black woolen clothes and even those hats, those big high top hats like Lincoln had. And I had done my homework, and I thought visually it would be very dramatic in that one scene where we see him walk over that rim, have him in that black outfit with that big hat. I thought photographically it would be very arresting. So I told that to the costume guy, and they, as always, are very accommodating. So they fitted me for it, and we went down to shoot the scene, and the producer said, what the hell have you got on? And I explained my reasoning, and he didn't like my reasoning. We finally ended up calling Rod, and he, not just because of Antioch, because I'd got a college degree, but he recognized that maybe that was a value that was worthwhile. So we kept it in, and later on, the cameraman and the producer came up and said, "You were right, Cliff. It worked." But that was a case where Rod, over the phone, saved my bacon.
Had you met him before? You talked about the connection.
Yeah, we met on the set.
Okay. Is that the
Briefly.
first time that you met him?
No, I had met him before, and I think we exchanged something about Antioch, but just brief. Most ingratiating guy, very sympathetic to the actor's needs.
And the connection, tell me about the connection about Antioch College.
Well, he was a guest lecturer, not when I was there, but in the summer. And not many people in those days went to Antioch. And I think that was the only connection.
So when you did this
later on, they offered me a adjunct professorship, which I've not been able to really use.